and Al-Qaeda. And others at the sheer amazement of entering a security building. It was amazing just breaking into the rooms and finding docs with top secret on them. I will never forget this. And a look at what getting those documents out from state security might mean. The storming and capture of state security documents is going to unravel so much of the inner workings of Egypt's terror police state. And staying with those attacks on state security across Egypt, this picture was posted online. It shows supposedly the inside of one of those offices. The hard drives are missing. They've been taken away by the protesters. Well, don't forget, you can stay involved on our website. The address, as ever, is www.aljazeera.net/English. Post your videos, stills and comments. We'll have the latest from the region, live blogs from Egypt and Libya, as well as international reaction, plus reporting, analysis and opinion. That's it from us. We'll be back later with more, but for now, back to you.
Thanks, Imran. A group of masked internet activists claim they played a part in bringing down the regimes in Tunisia and Egypt. Let's return now to Shihab Ratanzi at our Washington Broadcast Center for more. Shihab?
Thanks again. Members of the group Anonymous have told Al Jazeera they hacked into Egypt and Tunisia's government websites, causing them to crash. They wear masks associated with an anti-government figure to protect their identity. Scott Heidler has more on the so-called hacktivists.
Hello world, we are Anonymous.
As a movement, they say they don't have a political stance and they don't even have a members list. But they do have the power to assist revolutionaries and bring down the websites of multi-billion-dollar corporations. They call themselves Anonymous, a group of nameless internet activists or hacktivists. A few from their operations arm spoke with us via video chat.
Anonymous or Anon has been described in many ways, a collective, a movement. What are you guys, and what do you stand for?
There are a lot of ideas in Anon. The best way to describe it is the freedom of speech, freedom of information, and the freedom of expression taken to a logical extreme.
You've also been called thugs. Do you break the law?
Some of the things we do are illegal, but sometimes we need to do illegal things to make change. I wouldn't call us thugs. We're certainly not thugs. We're not anything like that. Criminals, I guess. We are breaking laws, but for the greater good.
So where do these hacktivists come from, and who are they?
I think for the younger generation, in Anonymous and outside of Anonymous, it's kind of the face of protesting for the digital age. It's people who are getting their sense of humor, getting their culture from online, and going out there and taking it to the streets.
Anon hacked the corporate websites of Visa, MasterCard, and PayPal in response to their move to stop processing donations for anti-secrecy organization WikiLeaks.
A lot of what we've done as far as hacking and the release of material, we specifically aim to avoid hurting people. I mean, you look at the Visa, MasterCard attacks. We brought down their websites as opposed to, hitting the infrastructure that would have prevented their services from working. We could have done that, but we didn't.
Of late, Anonymous has aligned themselves with the uprisings in the Arab world, taking down government websites in Tunisia and Egypt. They jam the sites by flooding them with requests. Most of Anon's activities appear political in nature, but their most recent attack was personal. The target, Aaron Barr, chief executive of the H.B. Gary Security Company, who had taunted Anonymous, saying he could identify most of the group's leaders. Anonymous retaliated immediately, hacking into H.B. Gary's server and publishing more than 70,000 internal company emails. As a final flourish, it left a message on H.B. Gary's website saying, "You brought this on yourself. Let us teach you a lesson you'll never forget. Don't mess with Anonymous." It's a warning other companies will no doubt take to heart. Scott Heidler, Al Jazeera, New York.
A drop in the U.S. jobless rate has boosted President Obama's call for Congress to pass a budget for this year and avoid a government shutdown. But when it comes to public spending, Democrats and Republicans are poles apart. In his weekly address, Obama said he's ready to compromise and make more cuts, but not if they stall economic recovery.
We need to come together, Democrats and Republicans, around a long-term budget that sacrifices wasteful spending without sacrificing the job-creating investments in our future. My administration's already put forward specific cuts that meet congressional Republicans halfway, and I'm prepared to do more. But we'll only finish the job together by sitting at the same table, working out our differences, and finding common ground.
The president was making that address from a Florida classroom, a state with one of the highest unemployment rates in the country. There are some signs that the economy of the Sunshine State may be recovering, but for those struggling to find work, it certainly doesn't seem that way. From Miami, Kimberly Halkett reports.
2011 hasn't been a good year for Gabriel Martinez. 2 months ago, this corporate operations manager and father of 2 young children lost his job. After weeks of scanning openings at this Florida job center and sending out resumes, he still hasn't found work.
I don't see things turning around like that. I don't see it. I don't feel it. I mean, if I say I've applied in the last 2 months for over 200 positions, I don't think I'm exaggerating. And I haven't gotten a single call back, an opportunity for an interview.
The Bureau of Economic Research officially declared the U.S. recession over in 2009, but the job markets remain flat. Roughly 9% of Americans are looking for work. In Florida, it's 12%. Only California and Nevada fare worse. Currently, more than 1 million Floridians are unemployed. But after years of dismal financial forecasts, economists are once again optimistic.
We're on our way out of what's been a very deep hole. I think the outlook, the longer run trends are all quite favorable. Some of the strategic things we're doing here all bode very well for Florida's economic future.
Those strategic things include huge investments in health science and medical fields. Technology, construction, and education are also predicted to be major areas of growth. Forecasters predict Florida's now on track to create more jobs over the next 5 years than any other state in the country.
This biotech park in downtown Miami is just one sign things are getting better. It's being built to house life sciences and technology companies moving to Florida to take advantage of the large labor pool and rock bottom real estate. It will not even be open until June, but it's already half full.
Florida also stands to gain from a boom in trade with its southern neighbors. As more and more financial companies move in, this Miami Strip is quickly becoming the Wall Street of the South.
Okay, this is very good to you because I know that you are very stable.
But for Martinez, Florida's rosy outlook is of little help. He needs a job now.
You know, at this point, I'll take whatever I can get.
Martinez says he's cautiously optimistic he'll be able to find work soon, now that his state is finally back on track and poised for growth for the first time in years. Kimberly Halkett, AlJazeera, Miami.
The U.S. Air Force has launched its second secret unmanned space plane from Cape Canaveral in Florida, the X-37B.
And liftoff of the United Launch Alliance Atlas V rocket.
The shuttle's missions and content are classified. In December, another mini shuttle returned to Earth after spending 224 days orbiting the planet. The Air Force has denied that the shuttle is a space-based weapons system. More later in the program, but for now, let's return to Doha.
To Somalia now, where African Union peacekeepers and government troops are claiming some success against al-Shabaab fighters. The joint forces say they've captured key positions in the north of the capital.